Every year, the research firm Gartner puts out these predictions that are really designed to make you stop and think. But this year? Well, their forecasts on AI are more than just thought-provoking, they're promising to be completely transformative. So let's break down what they're seeing, because trust me, this is way bigger than just another tech trend.
Just let that sink in for a second. 1,000 legal claims for death by AI. I mean, it sounds like something straight out of a science fiction movie, right? But Gartner is putting this out there as a serious warning. It's a huge wake-up call about the incredible risks we're facing when we have powerful AI without the right governance, especially in those really high-stakes fields.
So that one prediction alone just opens up so many questions. If AI can lead to outcomes that are that catastrophic, what else is it going to do? How is it going to rewire our jobs, our businesses, our entire economy? We're about to dive into Gartner's key predictions to really map out the future they're seeing.
Okay, let's start at the most personal level. You. How is AI going to change your career, the skills you need, and maybe even the way you think? Well, the first big shift is already knocking on the hiring manager's door.
By 2027, and that's not far away, Gartner is predicting that a huge 75% of hiring processes will include some kind of test or certification for AI skills. We're talking 3 out of every 4 jobs.
So what does that really mean? It means knowing how to work with AI is becoming a basic, fundamental skill, kind of like knowing how to use a computer is today. And this isn't just some far-off prediction, it's already happening. Down in Australia, major banks are building AI literacy right into their staff training programs. It's not a nice-to-have anymore. It's becoming absolutely essential. But here's the twist, the paradox in all of this. As we rely more and more on AI, there's a very real danger that our own critical thinking and decision-making skills could start to get a little rusty. I mean, if the machine is always serving you up the perfect answer, when do you get to practice finding it yourself? And to fight back against this, Gartner thinks that by 2026, half of all organizations will start bringing in AI-free assessments to make sure our human judgment stays sharp. Think of it like a math test where you're not allowed to use a calculator. For example, the Australian energy market operator already brings in independent experts to validate their forecasts, just to make sure there's strong human oversight on top of the AI. All right, so now let's zoom out. We've talked about the individual, now let's look at the whole organization. Because AI isn't just another tool for businesses, it's on a path to become the new engine that drives everything, starting with how companies buy and sell from each other.
And the scale of this shift is it's immense. By 2028, Gartner predicts that 90%, 90, of all business-to-business purchasing will be handled by AI agents. Just picture that for a second. Your company's AI will be talking directly to your supplier's AI to get a deal done.
And we are not talking about some small corner of the market here. This represents over $15 trillion in spending being managed by autonomous agents. And you could already see the early signs. Mining giants like BHP already use a ton of automation in their supplier systems. This is just the next logical, massive step.
We're seeing the exact same evolution in customer service, right? We started with humans, then we moved to those kind of basic chatbots. Well, now we're heading into the era of multi-agent AI. That's where you have lots of specialized AIs all working together to solve really complex customer problems. By 2028, companies that automate 80% of their service this way are expected to just completely leave their competitors in the dust.
But, just automating everything isn't the whole story. The real challenge, and honestly, the real competitive advantage, is going to be designing these AI systems so they can still deliver a feeling of trust and empathy. Big companies like Telstra are already pouring money into this, using AI not just to be more efficient, but to actually improve how customers feel about the experience. And get this, for the first time in decades, the classic productivity tools we all grew up with are facing a real serious challenger. By 2027, AI agents are predicted to cause a $58 billion disruption in that market, completely changing how knowledge work gets done.
Okay, so with all of this amazing opportunity, there's also a ton of risk. As AI gets more powerful and more autonomous, the consequences when things go wrong get so much more severe, which brings us right back to that chilling prediction from the very beginning.
Yeah, that forecast of 1,000 legal claims, it isn't just about self-driving cars. It is a huge warning sign about what happens when you deploy incredibly powerful AI without the right guardrails, without clear accountability, in any critical part of our society.
And you can probably guess where the stakes are the highest.
We're talking healthcare, where an AI misdiagnosis could be fatal. We're talking finance, where one rogue algorithm could cause a market crash. These are places where that old tech mantra of move fast and break things absolutely cannot apply. The governance has to be bulletproof.
And you know, the price tag for getting this right or getting it wrong, it's huge. By 2027, Gartner's predicting that the global cost of just complying with all the new AI regulations is going to hit $5 billion.
So why so high? Well, it's because we're not heading toward one single set of rules. We're heading toward a fragmented, patchwork world of AI regulations. Trying to navigate this complex web of different laws in different countries is going to be a massive headache. We're already seeing regulators like Australia's ASIC really tightening their scrutiny on how AI is used in finance. It's a crystal clear sign of what's coming for everyone.
All right, so we've looked at you, your company, and the risks. Now let's put it all together and look at the big picture. How all of this combines to create a complete, systemic transformation of the economy itself.
This timeline really lays it all out. So, by 2027, Gartner says traditional outsourcing and service contracts could lose half their value simply because AI agents can do those workflows. In that same year, the whole productivity software market gets turned on its head. And then, by 2030, a totally new concept starts to go mainstream: programmable money, which basically gives AI the ability to act on its own in the economy.
So what on earth is programmable money? Well, put simply, it's money that has rules coded directly into it. Imagine a dollar that can only be spent on groceries, or a payment that automatically sends itself the second a package is delivered. Gartner predicts 22% of all transactions could be programmable by 2030. And this isn't just some sci-fi theory. Australia's central bank is already running pilots for a digital currency testing out these exact ideas.
And that really brings us to the single most important takeaway here. This whole AI movement, it isn't just about installing some new software. This is a deep, structural shift. It is changing the fundamental building blocks of how we work, how we do business, and how we govern ourselves. So, as we watch all these predictions start to come true, the final question isn't just, hey, how can we use AI? The real question is, how do we get ready for the new world AI is creating? Because one thing is for sure, the entire landscape of business is being redrawn right before our eyes. The only question left is, are you ready for the new map?